Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, September 10th. Big changes coming for the Mid-Atlantic region. Much warmer and more humid air will move into the region this afternoon and last right into Thursday. Come Thursday, a strong cool frontal system will drop to the south and east from the Great Lakes region, reaching the East Coast by early Friday morning, and that will cause big changes at the end of the week from this very warm and humid pattern at the midweek to much cooler conditions for Friday and Saturday. In many locations in the Mid-Atlantic region, Wednesday will be the hottest day of the week, some 10 degrees or so above normal. By the time we get to Saturday, it looks like it'll be 10 degrees or more below normal in the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, before we get to the local weather situation, let's take a look at the tropics. They have become active. This is indeed the midpoint of the climatological tropical season. Many studies show that right around September 10th is the climatological peak of the hurricane season here in the Atlantic Basin. We have not had a single hurricane yet, which is really in record territory, at least very impressive territory in terms of the latest into the season without a hurricane. It's only happened a handful of times that we've gone this late without a single hurricane. Well, it's very likely that we will have a hurricane within the next 24 hours or so, perhaps before the day is even done, and that is thanks to Tropical Storm Humberto. We have three areas of interest right now. This is Tropical Storm Gabrielle. It re-strengthened. It actually was a tropical storm at one point, then weakened, now has re-strengthened into tropical storm status. Only 40-mile-per-hour sustained winds. The stronger tropical system is Tropical Storm Humberto, 65-mile-per-hour sustained winds right now. It doesn't have to go much farther to get to hurricane status, which is 74 miles per hour and above. That is way off into the eastern part of the Atlantic. Here's the west coast of Africa. This is Tropical Storm Humberto, likely to become a hurricane within 24 hours or so, the first hurricane of the season. It looks like it'll kind of meander to the north and northwest for a few days, whereas Gabrielle will tend to go north, perhaps towards Nova Scotia over the next couple of days. A third area of interest, and we'll see this on the satellite in a moment, is right here in the Western Caribbean. It very well could become a named storm. I believe it would be Ingrid. And that could happen over the next couple of days as it spills out over into the Gulf of Mexico. So not surprisingly, the tropics are active at this time of the year. It is the climatological peak. Very likely could get a Hurricane Humberto within the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Well, here's the current GOES visible satellite imagery of the western part of the Atlantic, and we could see the Caribbean as well. Here's that area of interest in the Western Caribbean. Again, I believe this very well could become the next tropical storm. I believe it would be Ingrid as it spills to the north and west, perhaps out over into the Gulf of Mexico over the next couple of days. This is Tropical Storm Gabrielle, strengthened into a tropical storm after it weakened in the prior couple of days. It looks like it's headed on basically a northward track, perhaps towards Nova Scotia. Now let's take a look at the far eastern Atlantic. And here's an image of Tropical Storm Humberto right here. Very healthy looking storm. It is stronger than Gabrielle or the Western Caribbean disturbance. Looks like it could become a hurricane within the next few hours, perhaps 12 to 24 hours or so. Kind of knocking on the doorstep right now. It's way off in the eastern Atlantic. This is the west coast of Africa, so it is not near any land other than the Cape Verde Islands, which are situated right in this region. Looks like it'll kind of move to the north and then maybe to the northwest. Looks like it'll just stay out to sea, but it very well could become the first hurricane of the season within the next day or so. Well, here's the latest surface map for the continental U.S. High pressure has moved off the east coast, and on the back side of the high we have developed a southwesterly flow of air in many parts of the atmosphere that will act as a heat pump over the next couple of days, pumping in very warm and humid air, especially noticeable by this afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic region. Lots of clouds around right now along the I-95 corridor. It should give way to some sunshine this afternoon. That's when temperatures will jump well up into the 80s, perhaps touching the 90-degree mark in the D.C. region as the southwesterly flow increases during the afternoon hours. New York City could get a shower or a thunderstorm over the next several hours, and they too should jump into the 80s, perhaps a low to mid 80s by this afternoon. This southwesterly flow of air will continue for the next couple of days, with tomorrow, Wednesday, likely the hottest day of the week in the Mid-Atlantic region. Meanwhile, much cooler conditions out here in the southern Rockies. An upper level low pressure area has swung a cool front through that region. Denver, for example, will be holding near 70 degrees today, and it looks like 70 degrees or so for the next few days, with numerous showers and thunderstorms. Some of that rain could be heavy at times, so quite a change for the southern Rockies, where they were very hot last week and dry for the most part. This week looks like a cool and moist weather pattern. Here's the latest nationwide GOES infrared satellite loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. A band of showers and thunderstorms across New York State could give a shower or thunderstorm to the New York City region, or certainly northeastern Pennsylvania over the next few hours. And here is Tropical Storm Gabrielle, all here on the eastern part of this particular image view. It's in the western part of the Atlantic, not looking like it'll affect the U.S. East Coast, as it's generally on a track to the north, perhaps towards Nova Scotia. Lots of moisture out here, seen with this cloud flow coming from Mexico and the eastern Pacific into the southwestern part of the U.S. Again, tropical moisture, subtropical moisture will allow for numerous showers and thunderstorms in the southern Rockies over the next few days. Well, here's a radar loop from the Penn State EWAL site. On the northern peripheral of a large high-pressure system, we have showers and thunderstorms crossing New York State into New England. It certainly can produce a shower or thunderstorm across northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, perhaps even into New York City later on this morning or during the afternoon hours. For the most part, it'll remain dry, rain-free from New York City down to Philadelphia and D.C. as clouds give way to some sunshine this afternoon, and then temperatures will be off to the races. D.C. flirting with the 90-degree mark this afternoon, Philadelphia and New York City well up into the 80s. And again, the peak of this little hot spell will occur on Wednesday with 90 degrees or perhaps a few degrees above that in many I-95 corridor locations. Well, let's take a look at a couple of computer forecast maps for the surface. For the next few mornings, we'll look at tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, and then Thursday morning and Friday morning from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. Still a southwesterly flow of air following these isobars here as high pressure sits off the east coast. Very warm tomorrow likely being the hottest day of this little heat spell we're going to encounter from this afternoon into the day on Thursday. 90 to 93 or so along the I-95 corridor for tomorrow afternoon, perhaps 90 this afternoon in D.C. and well up in the 80s across Philadelphia and even into New York City. Cool frontal system starting to get a little better organized out here over the northern plains and western part of the Great Lakes by tomorrow morning. Really noticeable by Thursday. Let's take a look at the Thursday morning forecast map. And here it is, Thursday morning, strong cool front over the eastern Great Lakes. Thursday looks like a day that could produce strong thunderstorms in and around the I-95 corridor. A couple of showers, certainly some isolated thunderstorms, and some of those strongs can be on the strong side Thursday, especially during the afternoon, early part of the evening. That front continues to press to the south and east and should sweep off the east coast early Friday. Let's jump ahead now to Friday morning forecast map. And here it is, Friday morning. Big changes coming Friday as compared to Thursday and Wednesday. We go from pleasant weather over the last couple of days to very warm and humid from this afternoon into Thursday. Then a strong cool front sweeps all that out to sea, and we get much cooler on Friday and Saturday. The coolest air yet of the season so far. Just a tremendous high pressure system here over the northern plains come Friday morning for this time of the year. Kind of a screaming northerly flow into New England and the Mid-Atlantic region. Friday we'll see temperatures much closer to 70 degrees in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. That's compared to the upper 80s to perhaps 90 or so on Wednesday afternoon. Quite a difference as that cool front passes through. Cannot rule out a shower, a light shower in the Mid-Atlantic region during the day on Friday. It'll be windy, partly sunny, much cooler with lower humidity. This high continues to drive to the south and east, controlling our weather on Saturday. Saturday, we'll see temperatures struggle to reach 70 degrees, even in the D.C. region. Philly will probably hold in the upper 60s, as will New York City. Low temperatures at night, certainly in the 40s in many mid-Atlantic locations, as another chilly air mass for this time of the year comes our way for Friday, Saturday, and it should last into Sunday as well. And that all follows very warm and humid conditions this afternoon, tomorrow, into Thursday. That's it for now for the SIWeather.com. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.